supply chain. Our staff are very busy making sure that our shelves are stocked with everything you need and to ensure we have enough for everyone. Be considerate and avoid stockpiling. Thank you for your cooperation.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Good afternoon, everyone. Cabinet met this afternoon to confirm our plan to stamp out the Delta outbreak we're currently experiencing. As you might have already heard, there are 35 new cases reported today, 33 in Auckland and 2 in Wellington, bringing the outbreak to 107 cases in total. Level 4 does help us overcome this issue. There are some additional reasons why this alert level remains important. Firstly, with the head start Delta had, it did manage to create contacts all over the country. This heat map shows the location of our known contacts, and as you can see, they are certainly not isolated to one part of New Zealand. As I said, these are also our known contacts. For some of the very, very large locations of interest, reaching everyone will not always be a perfect process. Caution is required. That does mean, though, that the safest option for all of us right now is to hold the course for longer. On that basis, Cabinet has decided that all of New Zealand will remain at level 4 for an additional 4 days until 11:59 p.m. Friday, 27 August. This will allow us to have additional data and assurance as to whether the virus has spread from our existing sites and how contained it's likely to be. These settings will be reviewed this Friday, and we'll give you an update in the afternoon. To give you a sense of what we'll be looking for in order to decide whether parts of New Zealand are ready to move down alert levels, we'll be looking to see if any new cases emerge outside of Auckland, whether wastewater results stay negative, and if cases do emerge in other parts of the country, whether or not they are cases that were already in isolation. For those in Auckland, I have different news. You'll see this continues to be the primary location of cases. Here we believe we know enough to say that your time in level 4 needs to be at least that full 14-day cycle that we've used in the past. So Cabinet has decided to give the city that certainty. And to tell you what we already know, Auckland will remain in alert level 4 until 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, 31 August, and we'll review those settings on Monday. So, to recap, we're currently in level 4. We will all be here until Friday when we review the settings for the country, other than Auckland, who will stay at level 4 until next Tuesday with a review the day prior. This gives us the chance to consider as often as we can whether we are safe to move, depending on where in the country you are. Our plan has worked before, and together we can make it work again, so please Stay strong, stay home, and be kind. And let's finish what we started. Yes.
Oh, thanks. On education, Mr. Hipkins said yesterday that the government is supporting 40,000 households to stay connected to the internet where they wouldn't otherwise be able to. Can you give an update on connecting kids to online learning at this time?
You'd forgive me, I'd need to go back to him for any more recent data. But also what would be useful, I think, is actually if I give him the opportunity to give you an update at the podium, and my recollection is that we are doing that on Wednesday, so that he can give you a bit of a take on what we'll be looking to do via education to continue to ensure connectivity, learning packs, which we've used in the past and so on. So I'll get him to give that update then.
I guess, is there a concern, or have you seen any signs, that level 4 isn't working?
Yeah, no, and so I asked that I do try and get a sense of from both police but our public health units, and they're being happy with compliance at this stage.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, which is very heartening because, when you look at New South Wales and their reporting, which says number of people out infected in the community, those have been reasonable numbers. We don't want that, because if we want to see our locations of interest start to reduce, as in we're not posting new ones, that will be because we're finding people in lockdown and therefore not out and about. At the moment, we're not long enough into level 4 for that to be the case. When we're finding people, they still have had pre-level 4 movement because they're a case that was infected before we went into lockdown. Yeah, I'll come to you, Jo.
When you review whether the rest of the country might come out of level 4 lockdown, can you give any certainty around whether that would definitely be a step down to level 3, or whether you are open to going to lower levels?
We haven't ruled anything in or out at this stage. We very much will lean on the data and the analysis that we have in front of us, but we'll always be careful. We have seen, and we've experienced it itself, if you haven't got that confidence and you move in a direction where you just need a bit of time. In Australia, they moved down and then recently had to move back up again. We would rather smooth our exit, so that will be part of our thinking. But to be honest, we haven't fully canvassed those options at this stage, so too soon to say.
It's on lockdown fatigue, just for Aucklanders who are now having to they're looking at longer lockdown.
Yeah.
They've done this so many times. What is your message for those people who are just getting a bit fatigued with this lockdown?
That we're all in it together. And that we've done it before and we will do it again. So stay with it. I absolutely believe we can do this. So, cheers.